Welcome, lovely viewers, to another exciting video. Thank you for joining us today as we dive into Amory Lovins. Amory Bloch Lovins, born November 13, 1947, is an American writer, physicist, and former chairman-chief scientist of the Rocky Mountain Institute. He has written on energy policy and related areas for 4 decades, and served on the US National Petroleum Council, an oil industry lobbying group, from 2011 to 2018. Lovins has promoted energy efficiency, the use of renewable energy sources, and the generation of energy at or near the site where the energy is actually used. Lovins has also advocated a negawatt revolution, arguing that utility customers don't want kilowatt-hours of electricity, they want energy services. In the years, his work with Rocky Mountain Institute included the design of an ultra-efficient automobile, the Hypercar. He has provided expert testimony and published 31 books, including Reinventing Fire, Winning the Oil Endgame, Small is Profitable, Brittle Power, and Natural Capitalism. Brace yourself for a deep dive into early life and education as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. Lovins was born in Washington, D.C. His father, Gerald H. Lovins, worked as an engineer, and his mother, Miriam Lovins, worked as a social services administrator. Lovins is the brother of Julie Beth Lovins, a computational linguist who wrote the first stemming algorithm for word matching. In 1964, Lovins entered Harvard College as a National Merit Scholar. After 2 years there, he transferred to Oxford. In 1969, he became a junior research fellow at Merton College, Oxford, as a result of which he had a temporary Oxford Master of Arts status. He left without a degree in 1971 because the university would not allow him to pursue a doctorate in energy. Lovins moved to London to pursue his energy work and returned to the United States in 1981. He settled in Western Colorado in 1982. Lovins' 4 grandparents emigrated to the United States from small villages lying between Kiev and Odessa in Ukraine in the early 20th. Most of his remaining family are believed to have been killed by German Nazis in the 1941 Tarasha massacre. As we enter this new phase, let's navigate the complexities of Friends of the Earth and discover its practical applications. Each summer from 1965 to 1981, Lovins guided mountaineering trips and photographed the White Mountains of New Hampshire, contributing photographs to At Home in the Wild, New England's White Mountains. In 1971, he wrote about Wales' endangered Snowdonia National Park in the book Orrery, The Mountains of Longing, commissioned by David Brar, president of Friends of the Earth. Lovins spent about a decade as British representative for Friends of the Earth. During the early years, Lovins became interested in resource policy, especially energy policy. The 1973 energy crisis helped create an audience for his writing, and an essay originally penned as a UN paper grew into his first book concerned with energy, World Energy Strategies 1973. His next book was Non-Nuclear Futures, The Case for an Ethical Energy Strategy 1975, co-authored with John H. Price. In the upcoming portion, we'll be dissecting Rocky Mountain Institute to gain a comprehensive understanding of its implications. By 1978, Lovins had published 6 books and consulted widely. In 1982, he and his wife, Hunter Lovins, founded Rocky Mountain Institute, based in Snohomish, Colorado. Together with a group of colleagues, the Lovinses fostered efficient resource use and sustainable development. Lovins' clients have included many Fortune 500 companies, real estate developers, and utilities. Public sector clients have included the OECD, UN, Resources for the Future, many national governments, and 13 US states. Lovins served in 1980 and 1981 on the US Department of Energy's Energy Research Advisory Board, and from 1999 to 2001 and 2006 to 2008 on Defense Science Board task forces on military energy efficiency and strategy. His visiting academic chairs most recently included a visiting professorship in Stanford University's School of Engineering. Since 1982, RMI has grown into a broad-based think and do tank with more than 600 staff and an annual budget over $120 million. RMI has spun off 5 for-profit companies. As we move forward, let's uncover the untold stories and fascinating intricacies of soft energy paths. Amory Lovins published an article in Foreign Affairs called Energy Strategy: The Road Not Taken. In 1976, Lovins argued that the United States had arrived at an important crossroads and could take one of 2 paths. The first, supported by US policy, promised a future of steadily increasing reliance on fossil fuels and nuclear fission, and had serious environmental risks. The alternative, which Lovins called the soft path, favored benign sources of renewable energy like wind power and solar power, along with a heightened commitment to energy conservation and energy efficiency. In October 1977, The Atlantic ran a cover story on Lovins' ideas. Residential solar energy technologies are prime examples of soft energy technologies and rapid deployment of simple, energy-conserving residential solar energy technologies is fundamental to a soft energy strategy. Lovins has described the hard energy path as involving inefficient energy use and centralized, non-renewable energy sources such as fossil fuels. He believes soft path impacts are more gentle, pleasant, and manageable than hard path impacts. These impacts range from the individual and household level to those affecting the very fabric of society at the national and international level. Lovins on the Soft Path is a documentary film made by Amory and Hunter Lovins. It received Best Science and Technology Film, San Francisco International Film Festival, 1983, Blue Ribbon, American Film Festival, 1982, Best of the Festival, Environmental Education Film Festival, 1982, Best Energy Film, International Environmental Film Festival, 1982, and Chris Bronze Plaque, Columbus International Film Festival, 1982. Now let's delve into the intricacies of nuclear power limitations and explore its various aspects. Lovins wrote as an attempt to balance the inherently intermittent nature of solar and wind that nuclear power plants are intermittent in that they will sometimes fail unexpectedly, often for long periods of time. For example, in the United States, 132 nuclear plants were built, and 21% were permanently and prematurely closed due to reliability or cost problems, while another 27% have at least once completely failed for a year or more. The remaining US nuclear plants produce approximately 90% of their full-time full-load potential, but even they must shut down on average for about 1 out of each 18 months for scheduled refueling and maintenance. To cope with such intermittence by nuclear and centralized fossil-fueled power plants, utilities install a reserve margin of roughly 15% extra capacity spinning ready for instant use. Lovins also argues that nuclear plants have an additional disadvantage. For safety, they must instantly shut down in a power failure, but due to the inherent nuclear physics of the systems, they can't be restarted quickly. For example, during the Northeast blackout of 2003, 9 operating U.S. nuclear units had to shut down temporarily. During the first 3 days after restarting, their output was less than 3% of normal. After 12 days of restart, their average capacity loss had exceeded 50%. Lovins provided his general assessment of nuclear power in the 2011 Huffington Post article, saying that nuclear power is the only energy source where mishap or malice can kill so many people so far away, the only one whose ingredients can help make and hide nuclear bombs, the only climate solution that substitutes proliferation, accident, and high-level radioactive waste dangers. Indeed, nuclear plants are so slow and costly to build that they reduce and retard climate protection. With respect to the 2011 Japanese nuclear accidents, Lovins wrote, "An earthquake and tsunami zone crowded with 127 million people is an unwise place for 54 reactors." Regarding nuclear power in the United Kingdom, Amory Lovins commented in 2014 that Britain's plan for a fleet of new nuclear power stations is unbelievable. It is economically daft. The guaranteed price is over 7 times the unsubsidized price of new wind in the US, 4 or 5 times the unsubsidized price of new solar power in the US. Nuclear prices only go up. Renewable energy prices come down. There is absolutely no business case for nuclear. The British policy has nothing to do with economic or any other rational base for decision-making. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore negawatt revolution and its significance in our journey. A negawatt is a unit in watts of power saved. It is basically the opposite of a watt. Amory Lovins has advocated the negawatt revolution, arguing that utility customers don't want kilowatt-hours of electricity. They want energy services such as hot showers, cold beer, lit rooms, and spinning shafts, which can come more cheaply if electricity is used more efficiently. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into Hypercar and unraveling its profound impact. In 1994, Amory Lovins developed the design concept of the Hypercar. This vehicle would have ultra-light construction with an aerodynamic body using advanced composite materials, low-drag design, and hybrid drive. Designers of the Hypercar claim that it would achieve a 3 to 5-fold improvement in fuel economy, equal or better performance, safety, amenity, and affordability compared with today's cars. In 1999, RMI took this process a step further by launching a for-profit venture, Hypercar Inc., in which RMI has a minority interest. In 2004, Hypercar Inc. changed its name to Fiberforge to better reflect the company's new goal of lowering the cost of high-volume advanced composite structures by leveraging the patents of David Fahrenheit Taggart, one of the founders of Hypercar Inc. Lovins says the commercialization of the Hypercar began in 2014, with the production of the all-carbon electric BMW i family and the 313 miles per gallon Volkswagen Xel. Now, it's time to shift gears and explore citizen participation. Lovins does not see his energy ideas as green or left-wing, and he is an advocate of private enterprise and free market economics. He notes that Rupert Murdoch has made News Corporation carbon neutral, with savings of millions of dollars. But, says Lovins, large institutions are becoming more gridlocked and moribund, and he supports the rise of citizen organizations around the world. Paul Hawkins' Blessed Unrest chronicles the rise of millions of non-profit citizen organizations around the world, the greatest social movement in history. As central institutions become more gridlocked and moribund, a new vitality is beginning to spread renewal through the stem to the flower. Now, we shift our focus to criticism, a topic that deserves our attention. Institutions and energy specialists have criticized various positions taken by Amory Lovins. One of the main points of contention is the assumption by the RMI of a linear relation between improvements in energy efficiency and reductions in aggregate energy consumption. The Jevons paradox suggests that improvements in energy efficiency actually lead to an increase in energy use as a result of decreasing cost. This rebound effect is downplayed in the analyses performed by Lovins. Other assumptions made by Lovins have also received criticism. For example, in Lovins' book, Reinventing Fire, it is assumed that 50% of all electricity in the US could come from wind in 2050. Other authors find that this is capped probably around 30%. Similar overestimates are identified in PV solar, where estimates are made for about 30%. This is seen as implausible. Moreover, according to the authors, no analyses are given about the need for huge volumes of electricity storage, which would be needed when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow. Let's now zoom in on awards and uncover the hidden gems that lie within. Amory Lovins was elected a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science in 1984, of the World Academy of Art and Science in 1988, and of the World Business Academy in 2001. He has received the Right Livelihood Award, the Blue Planet Prize, Volvo Environment Prize, the 4th Annual Heinz Award in the Environment in 1998, and the National Design Mind, Gene Meyer, and Lindbergh Awards. Lovins is also the recipient of the Time Hero for the Planet Awards, the Benjamin Franklin and Happold Medals, and the Shingo, Nissan, Mitchell, and Onassis Prizes. He received a MacArthur Fellowship in 1993 and is an honorary member of the American Institute of Architects AIA, a foreign member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences, and an honorary senior fellow of the Design Futures Council. He is on the advisory board of the Wholesome Foundation. In 2009, Time magazine named Lovins as one of the world's 100 most influential people. On March 17, 2016, Lovins received the Bundesverdienstkreuz 1 Class Officer's Cross of the Order of Merit from the Federal Republic of Germany for intellectually underpinning Germany's Energiewende, most notably with his concept of soft energy and how that promotes peace and prosperity. Lovins was a senior Ashoka Fellow in 2009. Get ready for an exciting exploration as we unravel the mysteries of personal life. In 1979, Amory Lovins married L. Hunter Sheldon, a lawyer, forester, and social scientist. They separated in 1989 and divorced in 1999. In 2007, he married Judy Hill, a fine art landscape photographer. In the following segment, we'll be examining books in greater detail. This is a list of books which are authored or co-authored by Amory B. Lovins. World Energy Strategies, Facts, Issues, and Options, London, Friends of the Earth Limited for Earth Resources Research Limited, 1975. The Energy Controversy, Soft Path Questions and Answers, 1979. Non-Nuclear Futures, The Case for an Ethical Energy Strategy with John H. Price, San Francisco, 1980. Least Cost Energy, Solving the Code Problem, Andover, Mass. Brick House Pub Company, 1982. Brittle Power, Energy Strategy for National Security with L. Hunter Lovins, Andover, Mass. Brick House, 1982. Re-released in 2001. The First Nuclear World War with Patrick O'Heffernan, L. Hunter Lovins, New York, Morrow, 1983. Reinventing Electric Utilities, Competition, Citizen Action, and Teen Power, 1996. Factor 4, Doubling Wealth Having Resource Use, A Report to the Club of Rome, 1997. Natural Capitalism, 2000. Small is Profitable, 2003. The Natural Advantage of Nations, Business Opportunities, Innovation and Governance in the 21st Century, 2004. Let the Mountains Talk, Let the Rivers Run, A Call to Save the Earth, 2007. Non-English Faktor Doppelter Wohlstand Halbierter Verbruch, 1997. Factor 4, Rapport au Club de Rome, 1997. Eco-Capitalismus, Die Industrielle Revolution de 21. Jahrhunderts, 2002. Remember, knowledge is power. Keep learning, growing, and exploring.